Today I'm going to be making a tier list in AET about most of the stands. If I missed some, tell me. There are some exceptions, however. I am not going to be showcasing. I'm going to be putting Tusk into one thing, and I'm going to be putting all the mini specs into one thing. Because Tusk, you can switch between the acts, so it doesn't really make sense for me to just put them separately. And the mini specs are just mini specs; they're not really meant to be used for combat. So, anyways, starting off. Oh, yeah. Before I start, I want to show you my inventory so you can see what I have right now. Because I won't have every stand on this list. So I'm just going to be showcasing, well, I'll have footage for the ones I have, obviously, but if I don't, then I'll just discuss it and my opinions on it. Starting off, we have Broly. Now, I don't personally use Broly too much. I just don't find him that useful for me. He does have the transformation and everything, and one of the iframe blocker moves, which I'm pretty sure is good. I don't know. As I said, I haven't used them in a while. For PvP, I'd say he's alright. But obviously, there's some flaws. So first of all, we have the V move. Now, the V move is good, but the hitbox on it, I'd say, is a bit dog crap. Oh, and the laser. Yeah, once you start the laser. So basically, I wouldn't say it's the greatest spec. I mean, is it worth getting Southern Dragon Ball 4? Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is. But where would I put it on the tier list? I would put it, I would honestly put it maybe B tier. As I said, oh wait, I didn't say this. The tier list, right, is based on my own opinions. So this isn't a quality tier list. This isn't like, oh, the fucking rarity or whatever. No, this is a tier list based purely on how I feel using them and how I find them. If I find them fun to use, if they're complicated or whatever, that's what I'm going to be taking into account. So let me know if I forget anything. But I have pretty much everything here. So I'll put Broly on a B for now. Next up, the Candy Cutlass. Now, it's a limited spec, right? It comes back every Christmas, so you can't really get it any other time. All you had to do was collect 200 candies, I'm pretty sure, during the Christmas event, which wasn't too difficult at all. If you had a private server, it was definitely real easy. But honestly, it's kind of just not that great. I mean, it has nice moves. It has really nice moves. It also has great blinds, like this one. This one just covers your entire screen, which is just, ooh. And it actually lasts for a long time. I didn't realize it lasted this long. Another blind is this one, but it's more of a blur, so it's not that great. But for combos, it's not great, because this is going to be a big problem with a lot of these specs and stands. Some of them run on the version 2 of the left mouse button attacks. So I attack, I do another move, but then I have a combo cooldown, so I can't attack again. And that gets really annoying sometimes, because every other stand has the basic one. So you attack, you do another move, you can attack again. But another problem I have with this is the R move. Because what it does, it's an okay move, right? It flings the enemy right in front of you, but they have iframes for a long time. So normally what you think you'd do is hit the R move, then the T move, which is the cloud. But they don't take damage and they can just roll out of it. And that kind of just doesn't... It kind of ruins it, because you can't really combo that well with it. Or I'm just bad. I don't claim to be good, so remember that. Right, I would put it on to use... Well, I'll put a B. I'll put a B. But it's not really a high B. So for now, it's going to be D. Next up, Seamoon. Now, I just recently got Seamoon. I haven't used it since the old universe, I don't think. Yeah, I haven't used it since the old universe. So I don't really know anything about it. All I know is that the R move doesn't work right now. This is before the update where they're apparently adding 6 stands and 40 skins. So it's getting fixed in that update. But for now, the R move doesn't work. The aim move just a barrage. F is it's not really too great. Oh, that was delayed. What the hell? I would put C-Moon as just not great because it's not really meant to be great. It's meant to be like the midway point between the next stand, which is Made in Heaven. So I'm just gonna put in just meh. Next up, D4C. Let me just whip it out real quick. Oh yeah, on some of these stands I'm gonna have skins, so they probably won't look like what you might have, but it's still the same. It's just a different look. D4C, I like it. I like it, but I don't use it. And when it gets Love Train, I'm probably gonna use it. But there's only one issue I have, and it's the reason I don't use it. It's the fact that T is the counter. And that kind of really annoys me. Because T, I usually think with, like, throwing knives, guns. But to get the gun, it's Y. Which makes it really easy to misclick. But, in general, it's not the worst. It's not the worst stand. You can go spawn clones and attack stuff. You can go into another tunnel. And then if you're in this tunnel, you heal. But, it's okay. It's okay. I'll put it at a B. Put it at B. I have added this C tier now because the other tier list was kind of mess. They just put this crap back. I'm gonna put Candy Cutlass in C instead of B now that I added it, and I'm also gonna put C-Moon in meh. I just don't find it good. D4C I'm gonna put in B because it's fairly alright. Right. Next up we have Dawn. Let me find it. Which I should. Yeah, there we go. For this one, I have the normal Dawn skin, apparently. I thought I had the Sinister one equipped, but it's fine. Dawn is interesting, because ever since they added the bar, I have mixed feelings about it. So now each move takes some charge to use, basically. It recharges over time. We have different moves, like Q, using up charge for as long as you can. You can cancel it, but it's just... when the bar runs out, you can't really do much for a while. But the effects are cool, and, the Grand Decision move, where I can just basically teleport anywhere, that's alright too. For combat, though, I don't know. I don't really use this. I'm gonna assume it's okay. But honestly, it's probably higher than Candy Cutlass for C tier. Gaster, I have Gaster. But it's just meh. Because it hasn't really changed since the old universe. Basically, you still switch for the hands, but it's still the same moves. But it's really outdated. Golden Experience. Golden Experience is also different. It also got updated, so it has new moves. And for PvP, it's not bad anymore. It's actually... well, it's not recently updated. But it's updated to a point where it's usable in PvP. Whether or not I use it, I don't. I only use one stand, and it's the world. I mean, it's an okay stand. I'd say it's alright. For PvP, it's also good. But whether or not it's fun, I mean, it has a diverse moveset. I guess that has it going for it. Oh yeah, this one is nice. Basically a timed move. It's an alright stand. It's fairly balanced. Well, I don't know if it's balanced, but it's just good. So I'm gonna put this. Probably lower B. Because even though it's good, it's still a basic stand, so basically, like, anyone can get it. And that kind of knocks it down a few points. Gojo I don't have. Now, listen. I don't see a lot of people use Gojo. And every time I see them use Gojo, they just get insta-killed. And from what I remember, Gojo, it was okay, but it wasn't great. However, one of my friends keeps saying that it shreds. So I'm just gonna put it in B. Because I don't know if it's good or not. But if my friends tell me it's good, I'm gonna assume it is. Next up, we have Goku. Now, Goku got changed since the old universe, so you can switch between forms and everything. But it also feels really outdated since this is, you know, when New Universe came out, this is what Goku is. Whether or not it's good, it's debatable. I mean, you can combo, yes, but the moves damage, it's not ideal. And Muai is good, but not as good as it used to be, because you can just easily attack and just make Muai go off. I mean, yeah, switching between forms to get different modes too sometimes gets annoying. However, there are different moves and, I mean, different transformations, and they give you different passives. Like 6 gives you health regen, and then this gives you more damage while you drain life. But it's just not great for PvP anymore. It's just not great for PvP for me. Just gonna say it's not. So I'm gonna have to put Goku. Just fun to use. I mean, it's Goku, but it's just meh. Next up, we have Hornet. The thing is, I was meant to, yeah, sorted the 4 mini specs into one, so I'm just gonna. There wasn't meant to be Hornet here. Damn it! Damn it! Anyways, Hornet is fun to use, but not support with combat, just like every other mini spec. Because Casey just knocks people away, Gun just shoots, Fight Saber shoots. They both do really minimal damage. Killua. I have Killua here. Killua is interesting because I personally don't really like using him. Well, I don't like using much, but he has a lot of moves that give you basically infinite iframes. He has he has the Thunderbolt move, and he also uses if you jump and then shoot it underneath you. But he also has transformations. He also has that move. He's fun to use. He is fun to use, but he also gets a bunch of iframes between his transformations, which really get annoying to fight against. And you may think it's not a big deal, but considering this guy has basically 2 transformations, it gets annoying real quick. So, on my tier list, whether or not it's fun to use, for me, it's fun to use, but annoying to go against. So I'm going to put Killua in front of Gojo, since I don't know what Gojo does. Next up, we have King Crimson. King Crimson is just mediocre. Because its moveset hasn't really changed since New Universe came out. So it still has the basic moves like clicking E twice to barrage behind the person, clicking Y to, you know, summon AC behind them to chop their arms off. It's good, but not really. Because the Y move, it gives you a warning, so you have time to block it, and it's really easy to block. Or like this. That's plenty of time. The stun is okay, but not really. And same with the R move. The R move takes way too long to use, so it's not ideal for, you know, extending combos or anything. The E move, you have to click it twice. If you forget to click it twice, you're just kind of screwing yourself over. It's just mediocre. Also, yeah, just this. Offstand. This is stupid. Offstand is basically useless unless you try to throw scalpels, but the scalpels aren't even worth throwing. So, for King Crimson, I'm gonna have to put it for meh. It's just not fun. It isn't fun. Because it's really outdated. Next up, Killer Queen. For Killer Queen, I'd say it's fun to use. For combat, maybe. But for trolling around in lobbies, it's fun to use. Like, really fun. If you have a friend with what am I saying? If you have friends with Killer Queen, you can just send them out, and then just send out Sheer Heart Attack. And if you have like 5 people with Sheer Heart Attack, you can just cause mayhem in servers. And it's just funny to look at. And it's also, it's alright for PvP, I guess. Oh, well, apart when your Sheer Heart Attack messes up your own thing. So where would I put Killer Queen? I would put Killer Queen in a higher... I'll put it in a higher version than golden experience since I don't use golden experience as much on it. You know what? I'll put it top of B tier. Actually, I'm going to put it A tier. Not really because I use it, but it's fun to mess about with because of the explosions doing so much AoE damage. And you can really cause mayhem, so I would say it's really fun to mess about with. Next up, Mero Mero. I have Mero Mero, right? But it's the same situation with Gaster. It's alright. It's alright, but again, it's really easy to get, and at the end of the day, it's just kind of mediocre. I put it above Candy Cutlass because I still kind of... I hate it, but love it. But whatever. Made in Heaven. Made in Heaven, I used to main when New Universe came out for the first time. It's a fun stand. It is a really fun stand. To use, it's fun because it's literally just spam fest. But when after using him for a long time and doing 1v1s with him, I realized how much he lacks in damage. The damage he does is not ideal or anything. Also, ignore the lag, I don't know what happened there. I mean, you can really speedily attack, but compared to other stuff, the damage is... it's actually whack. It's just bad. Plus, obtaining him, I think, is quite difficult, which can be annoying for some people. But in terms of usability, maneuverability, and just in general fun, it's fun. They also added Universe Acceleration, which just gives you basically infinite speed. And that can be fun, just running around the server stealing everything. I mean, what? But it's alright. It's alright. Would it go into A? Probably not. I would put it top of B tier. Because I used to main it, so I'm a bit biased. Next up, we have Nocturnus. Now, Nocturnus is... it's not as good as it used to be. When New Universe first came out, Nocturnus did insane bleed damage, which, I mean, obviously it had to get nerfed at some point. But now, I mean, you can still do a lot of damage. It's still a high damage dealer, and it's fun to set up some combos with it. So honestly, it's good. It's good. But to the point where I'll put it A tier? Probably not. I'll probably put it somewhere in front of Broly, but before Made in Heaven, because still I'm biased. Next up, we have Planet Shaper. Now, Planet Shaper is really fun. Because even though it's not primarily used for combat, it's good for combat. The moves do a lot of damage, and the main beam move goes through walls and can attack through walls, does 100 damage, I think. And plus the skin, it has like an exclusive skin where you can change the colors on it and everything, which, in my books, that's fun. Because you can have a lot of more diversity. So, as a fun spec, it is fun. You can summon gates to go to different locations. And for messing about with people, you can just summon a portal inside of them, teleport them away. Personally, it's good. I put it in A tier, but mostly for fun. I don't really use it for combat, but it was the stand that I almost bet Umbra with. So it's in my books, it's good. It's a good damage dealer, and it's fun. Next up, we have a Reaper. Now, I don't have Reaper, but I have Urzen, so I'm just going to use that for the showcase. It's the same thing, it's just a skin, but for some reason it's a separate stand because they haven't changed it yet. Now, Reaper, I just never got into. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just not into specs, really. But Reaper isn't that fun for me. Mostly because the E-move, right? The E-move sucks him up, does 40 damage, and when it spits him out, it gives him iframes. So you can't attack him for a while. And that can get really annoying. Also, if you use the T-move, which locks them up, and then you use the E-move, it doesn't suck them up, which can cause more issues. I mean, it's not the worst. It has that transformation if you get killed, but in my books, it's just mediocre. Is it worth 7 Dragon Balls? I would just go for something else, honestly. So Reaper, I'd put in B tier, probably after Broly. Next is Sakuya. I don't have Sakuya, but okay, fine. In all seriousness, Sakuya is a bit strong. Fun to use, I guess, but at the end of the day, it's just spam. So yeah, I will leave it there. except Sans. Now, Sans is... It got... It was meant to have like an update with an awakening. I don't know if they were serious about it or whatever, but it's kind of lacking. The damage of the moves is really low. I mean, sure, you can basically spam a lot of them, and one of the moves literally has aimbot. You don't even have to aim. See, it gets stunned and then it just shoots. But it's not up to date. The damage is really bad, and it's not even that diverse in moves. Like, yeah, you have bones and a counter, but back in old universe, you could literally just throw bones in front of you, just, you know, zap everyone. This just basically has Gaster Blasters around the place. You can also have a Gaster Blaster, and you can also have Teleport, another Gaster Blaster move. It's just Gaster Blasters. It's not diverse enough for me to have fun with it. So honestly, I'm gonna have to put it meh. Well, I'll put it above Sakuya though. Shadow Dio. Now, listen. Shadow Dio is one of those stands you have to get good with. For me, I'm absolutely dog shit with Shadow Dio. There's way too many moves for me to get a direct combo. Because you have the entire keyboard of moves, then you crouch by clicking Q, and you have even more moves. For me, it gets a bit too complicated for my smooth brain. So, I know some people are going to hate me for this, but I am going to put it meh. Only because I'm awful with it. I'll put it in C just to not do any harm, okay? Is that fine? Soul. Soul is... It's nice. Surprisingly, it's nice because it has the teleport barrage and everything. But again, it's outdated as hell. And what do I mean by it's outdated? Well, the damage is lacking, it doesn't really have moves. It's like Nocturnus, it doesn't have moves. It has like 4 moves. I mean, yeah, the teleport barrage is nice. You can teleport behind someone, but you... Oh, right, I forgot. They made it where you have to hold E now. You can teleport behind someone, barrage them, but it's not that great. You can block the barrage, you can really just run away from this move. Takes too long to use. The T move is good. The G move, which I don't think many people know about, the G move just summons a star. It's kind of delayed, which is annoying. The F move, it's a star move. But the problem with that star move is they have to be right in the middle. Even if they're even a little bit off, you're not going to deal damage. So, what does that make me want to do? Makes me want to put Soul probably in fun, but not suitable for combat. It's not ideal. It's just not ideal enough, because you can just block a lot of the moves, and for the R move, you can just run away. It's fun to mess about with, the T move and everything, but you can't even push people into this goddamn Planet Shaper portal with the moves, so I guess it's just mediocre. Star Platinum. Star Platinum is... It's alright, but I have problems with it. Mainly because a lot of the moves knock back the enemy, which can really just ruin your combos. I'm pretty sure every move knocks away enemies, except T, which is a star finger, and it pulls people towards you, and H, which sucks people towards you. That's basically to kind of counter, you know, the knockback and everything. But it would be better to just pull off an entire combo at once. And I also have another issue where if you do the tandem move, right? Now, this was shown on The World in a sneak peek ages ago, but look, you knock back, you shoot, you don't do damage, it goes through, because the enemy has iframes again. Now, this move has been shown on The World ages ago, and you could attack the person the world is attacking and still deal damage, but they decided not to go along with it. And was that a good move? I guess it would have made the world too OP. But for Star Platinum, at least make it that you have M1s when the guy's getting barrage, because honestly, you just standing there without a stand and him being knocked back with invincibility frames, not ideal. Not really ideal at all. So where would I put Star Platinum? I would put it at B. I'd put it at B. It's not ideal, but it's okay. SPR. SPR is... it's outdated. I know I say outdated a lot. I know I repeat myself a lot. But what I mean by outdated for this, it's just not great. Not great. The E-move feels slow, the barrage. It's like a kind of a slow barrage, which it's kind of just annoying to sit through. The Y-move doesn't have an ideal hitbox. The T-move doesn't even shoot straight, or doesn't shoot at all sometimes, and it does like 10 damage only just to pull someone in, and they have to be like right next to you anyways. So for what SPR is, it's not good. It's not good. Honestly, it's just a meh, top of meh, I would say. Now, Star Platinum Prime, I'm in the process of getting Star Platinum Prime. Star Platinum Prime is better than Star Platinum. So I'll put it in B tier, but not by much. It's okay, but it is still Star Platinum in the end. Yeah, you do have the Awakening though, so I guess it's better. I'll just put it at top. Standless. Now, for not having a stand, and for everyone getting it, it's good. You can do a lot of combos, you can barrage, you can even have range moves. So I'll put it top of C. Because at the end of the day, it's just nothing. The World. Now, the World is my favorite stand to use. Now I'm going to be biased, and I'm probably going to put it in S tier because of just how simple it is to use. There's no really like iframes that you give the opponent. You can always just, you know, have range because you have ranged moves, you have a knife, you have a gun, not a gun, I have a knife. The one issue I have is that you have to have the stand off to do a counter, and the counter gives you like a lot of end lag. And another issue with the counter is that you don't get iframes after it ends, so you can literally be just attacked instantly afterwards. And it's not ideal, but everything else I love about the stand. I like the road roller, I like basically everything, honestly. So, I know I'm saying I'm biased, but S tier. Now, be quiet. That's the only thing I use. Task is, again, outdated. It's not bad. It's not bad in a lot of ways. I'll put it in A tier, because it isn't bad. But it's just old. People don't use it as much since it's so old. The World High Voltage. The World High Voltage is... I'm repeating myself so much. It's outdated. What do I mean by that? Well, the H move, for example, is a combo move. It's like a punch, punch, punch. But it's a bit slow, and the hitbox isn't amazing. So you have the hitbox, and it's that slow, and sometimes the hitbox doesn't even hit. And to use the barbed wire, it's all the way in you, and it hits once, and it's just there for the... It's just there. It's pointless. And they removed, like, the matchstick move where you can burn the enemies, which is a bit sad. It's a worse version of the World. Where would I put it? Wait, that wasn't the World? What was that? Oh, that's my mistake, guys. That's Shadow the World Requiem. Okay, well, for now, the World High Voltage, I'll put it before Star Platinum Prime, or whatever. Okay. My mistake, guys. The World, yes, it will go into S tier. And I will also keep Shadow the World Requiem there. Now, I don't have Shadow the World Requiem, I have Halloween Shadow the World Requiem, but again, it's just a variant. It's the same thing. Now, why will I put... Oh, well. Why would I put Shadow the World Requiem in S tier? Like, it has the same problem with Star Platinum, right? And most of the moves knock back enemies, but the damage, it pays off. Like, the damage in general is really good for the World, Shadow the World Requiem. Including its range moves. The T move is kind of mediocre, but the Y move, it got a buff, and it can do a lot of damage just for a knife move, and it cools down really quickly. Along with like the other moves, you have G, and you also have H, that's not H. You have H, which I'm pretty sure gives you invincibility frames, and you can use it during attacks. It's pretty good. It's really good, actually, and it is fun to mess about with. So yes, I am gonna keep it S tier. Next, we have The World Over Heaven. The World Over Heaven is alright. I don't use it much, and it does a lot of damage. You can do some serious combos. It also has knives, kind of like, you know, Shadow of the World Requiem, where it does an extra attack. The damage is good. It's okay. It's alright. It's just mediocre though. Well, mediocre for me, but I know you can do a lot of combos with this thing. You can reality overwipe. So, I would put it in S tier. Now, even though I don't use it, it is a really decent stand. Like, really good. If you're going for PvP, I'd recommend this over a lot of the other stands. Now we're on to Whitesnake. Just in case you didn't see it. Okay. Now we're on to Whitesnake. Whitesnake is... You can tell that it's outdated. I'm pretty sure one of the oldest stands yet that hasn't gotten changed. It's not great. It's not great at all. And Whitesnake is going to rework next update. But for now, I'm putting it in meh. The moves are kind of bad. You can do like infinite combos, but in the end, it's just pointless. You can spam Q to just make a lot of noise, I guess. That's also good. X-Kara, I'll put it B for now. X-Kara is okay, because they changed it. And what I mean by changed it, I mean that they made the M1s more snappier, so they don't take forever to attack, but it suffers from the left mouse button version 2. So you attack once. Oh wait, it doesn't. Oh, they removed it. Okay, so X-Kara is good, but it's again annoying to use because if you click Q, you get access to different moves. So it's again 2 move sets, which is annoying to manage. And for damage, it's not really ideal. There are better choices for damage. So X-Kara is unfortunately gonna go into C tier for now. Yasuo I don't have on me, but from what I know, he's not great. What I mean by they added a bar, right? Which you charge with the Q, I think. But it's honestly not, again, ideal. Now, since you have the bar, you can't really use your other moves until you fill it up, meaning you actually have to get close, land a hit, land a hit, land a hit, and then you can use your moves, which really isn't good. Yasuo before that patch, it was alright. But now, I'll just put it in C. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put Yone in C2, because it suffers from the same issue as Yasuo. So anyways, this is my tier list. This is my tier list on AUT and the stats in it. Now you can always like put your opinion. This is just my opinion. Obviously, this was very rushed, so there might still be things that I don't agree with here, like putting Reaper in B because I forgot how bad the fucking counter is for Reaper. But for now, that is what I like. So I hope you guys can take this tier list into some consideration. You can always make your own tier list. You can show me what you like. But those stands are what I like, and that's that. So anyways, for now, I'll be seeing you.